Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock feud. Now, on Raw Day 1, which happened this past week, we saw the return of The Rock and his electrifying return. It was filled with his classic Rock swagger. He set the stage for a potential three-way feud with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Now, the way that this buildup happened was Triple H before Monday Night Raw teased on social media of a potential return of a former WWE champion. Now, when Raw aired and that segment happened, a lot of people were throwing out a bunch of crazy ideas about who this potentially could be, but I don't think anyone thought the one that showed up was Jinder Mahal. Don't hinder the Jinder. And you could hear when this segment happened the collective sigh of the audience. I don't think I've ever heard an audible like shit kind of sigh from the audience like the Jinder Mahal entrance. I don't know what you guys felt, but like that was the first time I was like, because when you saw the camera guy in the audience and you could see everyone's like phones go up, and then they heard Jinder Mahal's entrance go up, and you could hear just
they just put their phones
like
down.
They all put their phones down when Jinder Mahal showed up, which I thought was hilarious. But he went down the ramp, he went into the ring, and I thought it was 1986 all over again. He gave us a promo about how America sucks and how America is an ignorant country, and he gave us bullet points about why we suck as a country. And before he can finish his last sentence, "Ya hear, if ya smell what The Rock is cooking, the crowd goes wild." That was a loud prop. I don't know if it was as loud as CM Punk on Survivor Series 2023, but it was pretty damn close. The Rock goes down the ramp. He goes in the ring. Jinder Mahal says his thing. And then we get The Rock's promo. He goes into his usual shtick. Now, I won't lie, it is his usual shtick. He talks to Jinder Mahal, gives him his insults, invites the crowd to participate in the insults, and he has half the crowd do day one. He has the other crowd say, the other half of the crowd say douchebag. He did a similar thing last year. I think it was Austin Theory, where one side of the crowd said "you are," and then the other side said "an asshole." I'm pretty sure that was the SmackDown, SmackDown segment last year. So he did his shtick. The newsworthy thing was at the end when he did his people's elbow. He did the whole thing, and he said that he is hungry. Yep. And he started talking about, I'm kind of hungry, guys. I don't know. Where should I sit at this specific place, this restaurant? He said, should I sit in a booth? Should I sit in a booth? Should I sit at a bar?
Sit on these nuts?
Should I sit on these nuts? And then he ended, should I sit at the head of the table? And for anyone who hasn't been following WWE for the past, I guess at this point, 3 or 4 years, the head of the table is an insinuation to Roman Reigns, who calls himself the head of the table. And the crowd goes crazy. And we have the news story of the week. We have The Rock unofficially declaring a match against Roman Reigns. Now, what do you guys think? We have this, we basically have been talking about in the past year about Cody Rhodes trying to finish his story. And that has been the conversation since he lost to Roman Reigns last year at WrestleMania 39.
Next year.
We'll get into that. But for the better part of the year, everyone thought that WrestleMania 40 and Triple H made this conversation about Cody Rhodes' story, that, this isn't, just a single chapter. There is a beginning, a middle, and an end. And he felt like this was essentially just the beginning. And Cody Rhodes has basically been going through hell trying to scratch back up to the top of the mountain to get back that championship match opportunity. And everyone thinks that it's going to happen at WrestleMania 40. And then we have The Rock showing up at Day 1 Raw, declaring that he is the head of the table. And now the conversation is The Rock, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40. What do you guys think? Is that happening? Is WrestleMania 40 being invented by The Rock and Roman Reigns? Where's Cody Rhodes in this situation?
Listen. I think this is just a giant marketing ploy to sell his fucking Project Rock bullshit. That's all I think it is. I think he's just showing up. He's like, let me cut a promo. And he's like, I need to sell this merch. I think that's what happened.
His merchandise, you think it's as a service level as just him selling his merchandise?
Yeah, he's just showing up. He had his freaking nice little tank on. He's like, yo, I'm The Rock.
Now, are we shooting or are we working? Are you serious about that?
Yeah. No, but
this is Chi-Town Shoot. You better be shooting. If you're aiming, you better aim for the kill. What do you think?
Well,
what do you think is actually going to happen?
Well, I think as far as like his promo, just like my gut reaction from just listening to him cut his promo was that it was exactly the same thing that he did on that SmackDown, whenever that was, a couple months ago. So I don't know. Yeah. The reality is he can headline whatever pay-per-view, so be it WrestleMania. I don't personally think it's going to be WrestleMania. I think it might be Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, and he's going to have eyeballs come to the product. So I don't think he's going to do WrestleMania. I think he's going to do either Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, but yeah.
Now, to be fair, this past SmackDown New Year's Revolution, we got our WWE Championship match in the form of a fatal four-way with AJ Styles, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and Roman Reigns. They are the WWE Universal World Heavyweight Championship, whatever, of the Galaxy match. That's happening at Royal Rumble. So I don't see The Rock sticking his foot in that match. I think, if we're being realistic, potentially Elimination Chamber, maybe more likely WrestleMania 40. We all watch wrestling podcasts, right? There are a bunch of talking heads that we like to listen to day in and day out. You've heard, Fightful Select. You've heard the Observer. You've heard everyone talk about why would it happen at the Elimination Chamber? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It would have to be WrestleMania. It's a WrestleMania caliber match. Do you guys feel like Elimination Chamber is a realistic idea for The Rock versus Roman Reigns?
For 70,000 seats, yes.
Yeah. It's in Australia, right?
Yeah. It's in Australia. It's in Perth.
And Perth's not easy to get to, according to Australians.
Well, for one, the venue that they rented is essentially the size of a WrestleMania stadium. It holds 60 to 70,000 people, maybe even more, depending on what their layout is of the event. But that's a big event. That's like SummerSlam level, because they've been treating SummerSlam basically like a WrestleMania 2. For the year, because they have the one in April and they basically have another big event in the second half of the year. And the Elimination Chamber this year is a major stadium. So listening to all these people talk about, like, why wouldn't it be WrestleMania? I feel like from WWE's perspective, they're trying to create the road to WrestleMania as eventful as they possibly can, and it will happen at Royal Rumble. And they also want Elimination Chamber to not be like a dip in the storyline energy, right? Like, they want it to be consistently high octane, crazy matches. And what better way to do it than have The Rock and Roman Reigns show up at Elimination Chamber and have that match there? I think that's a great idea because they've also, if you look at the current schedule of WWE's, I was gonna say PPVs, premium live events, there's a lot of focus on international events. You have Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. You have Backlash in France. You have Germany's own pay-per-view, like that. This is a new pay-per-view. I forgot what the hell it's called, but it's in Berlin, Germany.
Berlin.
Bash in Berlin. Thank you. It's in Berlin, and that's going to be a Gunther-focused pay-per-view. So they have 3 or 4 major premium live events in different countries, and that from a corporate planning perspective, this is a new concept for 2024. They haven't done that. They've dipped their toes into premium live events in different countries on like a consistent basis. With last year, where they had Clash at the Castle, and I'm pretty sure they had Puerto Rico is technically part of the United States, but I think they treat it as like a major foreign international event. They had Puerto Rico with Backlash. Oh, they also have Toronto with Money in the Bank. A lot of these big pay-per-views are not in the United States. That's a first.
Last year's Money in the Bank was in London too.
Yeah, you're right. So there's this ongoing corporate plan about trying to make these events as big as possible. And what better way to attract more people than having an event like The Rock versus Roman Reigns?
When was the Rumble again? Is this
The
month,
Rumble's January 27th. And where is it? It's in Florida. It's at the Tropicana Bowl.
So The Rock's going to be home, basically. If you think about it, The Rock fought Cena, or I'm sorry, he fought Punk at the Rumble when he took the belt from him for the main event of the Rumble.
And so this is a lot of like what is giving me like there are so many different ways you can go about this because you can make a story about because Punk had that issue where he was WWE champion, lost the belt to The Rock, and they basically had that Cena Rock feud, and then Punk felt a certain way. You could bring that up again, have him be involved in this specific thing. Obviously, there's this Seth Rollins CM Punk feud that they've been writing. You can see the writing on the wall. He's had interviews. Seth Rollins has had interviews, and a lot of it was focused around those two. But what about we've been talking about The Rock. We've been talking about Roman Reigns. Where's Cody Rhodes in this? Where's Cody Rhodes in this entire feud? Because I talked about him finishing his story. What the fuck goes on with what is happening with Cody Rhodes?
Who's that?
At WrestleMania 40.
Who's he rivaling right now?
Huh?
He gets his
Who's
belt.
he rivaling like right now?
Right now, he's in a feud with Shinsuke Nakamura. So, like, but in a lot of people's brains, it's like, well, this is his speed bump to WrestleMania 40. But now The Rock fucking shows up. So where does Cody Rhodes go from here? Does he win the Rumble?
Nope.
Does he win the Elimination Chamber? Who does he face at WrestleMania 40? He's not off the card at WrestleMania 40. Where does he go? What happens?
He loses the Rumble. He wins something at Elimination Chamber, and that's
what does he win? Who does he face? What does he win?
A number 1 contendership Elimination Chamber or something? I don't know.
A number 1 contendership Elimination Chamber match?
Yeah,
maybe. But I'm scratching my head. I'm trying to figure out where does it go from here.
It's hard. It's really hard to say. There's too many triple A talent all right now, in the main spectrum of where the belts are and where they're at. It's really hard to say. And then you threw The Rock in and just fucked it up for everybody.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I think it's great that it's just there's so many.
It's a good problem.
Potential. It's a good problem to have. Chris, what about you?
No, I think Triple H just never forgot that throne, baby. He's like,
really?
This is
that petty?
He said this is long-term burial, brother. His ass.
I like storytelling, but long-term burial.
He's gonna give him the line. He's like, don't you worry. Like, you're gonna do this and that. He's like selling him on like the way to the top, and he's like, all right, I guess so. And I think by the end of it, he's like, here's your fucking papers, motherfucker. you're out of here. Go back to AEW, bro.
Well, we'll see. You say that, but there has been a story where Cody Rhodes has re-signed with WWE, and I think it is a 5-year contract. So everyone, I feel like people of that
5 years
caliber
stint.
know where their Northern Star is, or where the plan is from WWE's perspective about like where they're going to be in terms of the roster. So if he thought that Triple H was going to bury him for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, he would not. I don't think he'd be re-signing with WWE, and I think he had a very specific goal in mind when he re-signed with them back in 2022. So
He's gonna
You guys-
wake up. He's gonna wake up and he's gonna go into his mailbox and he's just gonna see his Stardust gear in the mailbox.
A tracking number.
Yeah, a
Tracking
USPS tracking number.
Oh man.
That's what I
What about
think.
this though? Because with I was gonna say because Punk coming back, his contract's what 3 years, right? What's his goal?
I
What
think
was
I
his
think
goal
CM Punk is
before?
actually more short term. I think it might have just been like the year, and then they were just kind of going off
Okay.
of.
I read something else
vibes.
but he has like complete creative freedom. But the thing is, what's Punk's goal? And everyone knows it. He would have gotten it if he never left, which was
I
to
mean,
main
probably
event
main
WrestleMania.
eventing WrestleMania.
Exactly.
He's
So
gonna
now
get this year.
he was going to do it, and then Cody can't do it, and now The Rock's there. It's just like, oh my god.
Well. The good thing about WrestleMania is now it's 2 nights, right? So so everyone, 2 sets of people can say that they main evented WrestleMania, and that's been
Yes,
the
but
case.
you
for a
want
lot
to
of
you
years.
want to main event the last night though. You want to main event that one. and
Yes,
you want the
technically,
title.
because I think that's how I would view it that way too. Because like you're technically main event WrestleMania, but the last day with the final match is, I think, the main event, and I think a lot of people
Personally,
view
yeah.
it as the main event. But okay, well let's throw out some ideas out there because we're talking about Cody Rhodes, and I know you said Stardust and all that. You know that's not realistic. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna
But
happen.
you think he's going to be in Stardust gear at WrestleMania 40?
Yep, he's gonna be on Zero
Versus
Hour.
who?
He's gonna be in
Versus
the
who?
pre-show. He's gonna
0
be,
Hour
Yeah.
AEW.
Yeah, he's gonna be Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso tag teaming with fucking his brother or some shit, and that's the match. Book it.
All right.
Book
Well,
it, Triple
what's your
H.
plan B? What do you think is going to happen if Stardust doesn't happen? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think like first of all, he needs to wrap this Shinsuke shit up. That needs to be done like ASAP. I can see Rock putting over Roman at, let's say, Elimination Chamber, and then that way when Cody faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, it's a lot more. There's a lot more weight to the match because, well, shit, Roman Reigns beat The Rock, and now he gets to fight Roman Reigns. I think me
It's true.
not being just a shithead about it, I would see that's the scenario. But
I can
Who
see that.
knows?
So making it beating Roman more of a bigger thing because he beat The Rock too now.
yeah, I
But then
can see
who?
that
Then
happening.
who's the guy that beats him? Then would it be Cody? Would it be Punk? I don't.
Right.
I don't see it being Punk though personally.
Well, I say
Cody for sure.
Punk for sure is going to be the Seth Rollins. I don't know what
Yeah.
what night. it's gonna
I think
do,
that's
but
logical. Yeah.
Seth Rollins is for sure the feud there. But for Cody Rhodes, or as far as like the Rumble, I mean, who's going to win that?
Well, we'll say that
We're gonna surprise
for our
them.
last segment, but I
Alright.
guess if you want to kind of touch on that, that's perfectly fine. But David, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen with Cody Rhodes between now and WrestleMania 40? Where is he going to end up on that card?
He's gonna end up in the title match.
Do you think it's going to be a one-on-one? Do you potentially see a Triple H, Benoit, Shawn Michaels type match
Who?
where it's a triple threat? Oh, exactly. Triple H, Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels,
Redacted.
blank,
Our Lady of Peace.
redacted.
Silhouette character. Yeah.
Do you
Create a
think it's
character for-
possible to have a triple threat like that? Do you think that's realistic?
I think it'll take away from Cody's moment. I think he should win one-on-one.
Yeah, I agree with
He's
that.
already established like a heat with Roman. Like they're able to avoid each other all year and like still have a buzz off a stare down. Like Roman still said all those things where he was Dusty's favorite kid that he never had. And I think he should finish that up.
Now, this is the last scenario that I'm going to bring up. Then we're going to move on to the Royal Rumble. But let's talk about this potential scenario. So we have a fatal 4-way at the Royal Rumble, and he has to face AJ Styles, he has to face Randy Orton, and he has to face LA Knight. Do you think it's possible that Roman Reigns loses the championship at the Royal Rumble and he doesn't get pinned, and Cody Rhodes ends up facing someone else besides Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania? Do you foresee like a Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes legacy feud for WrestleMania 40, or do you feel like that's just completely out of left field and completely impossible?
I think it'd take away from Cody winning if he doesn't break Roman's record at this point.
Yeah. Because there's that initial thirst for just like getting the run back on Roman Reigns from last year. You know what I mean? I don't think it would make. I think it'd be cool. Would I be disappointed if it was like a Randy versus Cody Rhodes? But
That'll be for Backlash.
yeah, I mean, I could see that happening at some point. I could see perhaps like a well. First of all, Randy's on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, but so is
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Well, if Cody wins, he goes to SmackDown.
True.
Right.
True. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Like, it makes sense, but I don't think it makes sense currently with what's kind of been building up. I think it's going to ultimately be Roman versus Cody.
Okay, well, yeah, I said this was going to be one last thing, but actually, let me toss in one other monkey wrench. So, we and WWE has been talking about breaking records. They've been talking about they want to freshen up their record books, and Roman Reigns has another milestone that is approaching, I think, around SummerSlam. And maybe WWE wants him to beat Hulk Hogan's record. Do you think he just retains again at WrestleMania 40?
Yes.
And you think so? What do
Yes,
you
I
guys
do.
think?
I don't know who we'd face. Like, this is my personal belief. All these scenarios we have, we don't know, right? But what I personally think is because certain superstars have come back, I think it would be better to let Roman keep winning and then finally give it to Cody next big pay-per-view, final big four, maybe WrestleMania. Set up a really big win for him for next WrestleMania is what I'm saying. It's crazy to even say that because he should already be in the main event spot. But The Rock pulling numbers and The Rock fighting Roman Reigns is definitely going to overcast a lot of other rivals right now. It's hard to build on it. It's Cody's right now rivaling with Shinsuke Nakamura, and we're so close to WrestleMania already. And it's like, how are you going to throw him in? Yeah, he can win Elimination Chamber. He has to win the Rumble. That's the only way I'd be like, okay, he's going to be in the Rumble match. But The Rock could also be in the main event too. Like him just showing up and saying, oh, I'm going to be eating at the head of the table. I mean, yeah, he could be at Elimination Chamber at the main event there. He could be the main event at Royal Rumble too. Because the Royal Rumble is not exactly the main event sometimes either.
That's
So
true.
I think let Reigns beat The Rock at WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber, and then let him keep winning, break Hogan's record, and then set up this big redemption for Cody. He gets through everyone, everyone, and then he finally finishes the story at the next WrestleMania. That's what I personally think would happen. Just with everything that's going on right now, just make it even bigger for him. Make beating Roman that much more special, and the one person to do it would be Cody Rhodes. Because he beats The Rock. He beats everyone. I mean, by this point, he's beaten everyone.
Nah, I feel like they can't keep edging the audience on, man. They can't keep blue balling every motherfucker because it's just way too long. Then, like if it's just like until fucking next year, bro, another 365 days till you see maybe.
Yeah, and you only get 4 Roman Reigns matches, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's how you
yeah. I think
I don't know. I know. I agree, but that's what I see.
I could see Cody Rhodes by then, if that's the case, cooling off, and then people just kind of being like, whatever about it. Because that's
why I also mentioned too, like he might win it somewhere else before WrestleMania. But making Reigns that much better, like beating all these other, like now a legendary wrestler too, like, oh damn, like it's gonna become like the streak, like who's the one that's gonna do it? Who's the one that's gonna beat it?
Sure.
Nah,
man, he's immortal, bro.
Pretty much.
Roman's defenses have all been really great. Like from Thunderdome to now, like his Thunderdome matches against like Daniel Bryan and Edge, Cesaro, Rollins, Owens.
Silverdome.
Like, yeah. And then
I snorted, but I was muted.
But yeah, I don't really see any legitimacy other than going for like the total amount of days. Like who else can he beat? If he beats The Rock and he wins this fatal 4-way with AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton, it's like who else do you really have to add to the list of people you have to
Honestly, yeah.
beat? Like
make
you
a
already
good
beat
point.
Brock like 3 times in this title
Yeah.
in this reign defense. Like you've beaten Kevin Owens, I think 4 times. You know,
Did he beat Cena again? Like
Twice,
as
yeah.
a champion though?
He's beat
Yep.
Cena.
As a champion though? Like a
Yeah.
title match on the line?
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember that. But that was another one. I don't know. Like I said, like I don't want it to be till next WrestleMania. I would like Cody's thing to finally fruition and be the thing, but like I don't know.
I mean,
I
unfortunately, I,
Roman
could see that
still-
too. I could see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of morbid, and I feel like I just want him to beat like every record, and Roman Reigns will be like the longest running WWE champion ever.
He needs
And
to
just
come
see-
out. He needs to come out with
They're
that
going that way.
2,000-day champ jacket. You know, he had the 1,000-day one.
Yeah, he has like
Now
the
he needs-
1,000 or 1,400. they need that merch, bitch.
1,000,
But
right,
then
right.
like the 1,000 one then just seems like out of date. So then everyone
it's
who
like
has the
3
1,000
belts
was like,
too,
I'm not
man.
wearing this shit because now he's like 2,000 days.
Yeah, but then it could
You
be
know?
like Roman 3,000. Roman
And he's in the-
3,000.
he gets to redesign the belt 4 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, he's got
Exactly.
3 belts too, man. That's
Is he technically like is he technically still like a 2-belt holder, or have they just been like, all right, well now you're just 1 belt? But do they
That's
still
one.
call it the WWE Universal World Heavyweight Championship Champion of the Galaxy belt? Like, is he still
Yeah.
technically a 2-belt person?
Of the left arm of the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah,
He's
like,
just a one person. It's or 1 belt. It's just
Yeah,
a
now he's a
WWE
1 belt, but-
undisputed.
I feel like there's still a stank on Seth Rollins' belt where it just feels like, well, no one can beat Roman Reigns, so here's a supplemental belt. But I will say that Seth Rollins has done a really good job being the working people's champion. I think he's done a great job with that. But just, I guess, tying up the Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Rock feud speculation, I feel like I would like, ideally, I'd like for Cody Rhodes to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. There's a morbid side of me that would like to see Roman Reigns retain again and then maybe lose at SummerSlam once he hits that other record, because maybe they're like, well, Hulk Hogan's a racist, let's just have him beat that record so Hulk Hogan doesn't have the longest record ever, and that's what we're going to do. And I'm fine with that, but ideally, I'd like to see Cody Rhodes retain at WrestleMania. But this whole Rock factor is interesting, and I genuinely want to see where this goes, because I don't know where Cody Rhodes goes if this is going to be the WrestleMania main event.
AEW, motherfucker.
No, he's not going to AEW. I can tell you that. I
built
can tell you
another
that.
throne to destroy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to AEW. I can promise you that.
I don't see
Especially
it,
with the
no.
new recent contract he signed. Not anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah.